Network television has been dying for decades at this point. It's almost kind of sad. But recently we saw a little bit of real drama hit the TV sphere. That's right, I'm talking about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock live on television in front of millions of people. Or well, it's the Oscars, so I'm not super sure how many people were actually watching. I know I wasn't. I can't take that much celebrity ego stroking in one night. But I did tune in for this drama, since you know, I've got a channel to run. So what exactly happened? Well, at the Oscars, they usually bring in some comedians to try and make the show just a tiny bit more entertaining. And usually those comedians take a few pot shots at the famous guests in the audience. You know, like a soft roast or something. To keep their egos from getting just a bit too big to fit in shot of the camera. You know Chris Rock from that old sitcom, Everybody Hates Chris, which is one of those kind of liminal sitcoms that I remember from when I was a kid and I forgot to turn the TV off when going to bed. And I just wake up and Everybody Hates Chris or another show like it, like the George Lopez sitcom would be on. Well, Chris Rock is now a comedian, I guess. And he was on stage doing a light roast of Will Smith's, you know, the guy who played Genie in the live action version of Aladdin, wife, who was in the hit movie Madagascar. And I guess that Will Smith's wife, named Jada, did not very much like a joke that Chris Rock made about Jada's short hair. Chris Rock made a joke basically saying that she looked like she could be in G.I. Jane 2, referencing an archaic film from 1997 because Jada has pretty much a military haircut. Will seemed to laugh at first, but then realized that Jada was upset. It's important to preface this with the fact that Jada has alopecia, which from my understanding is just kind of a balding condition, and that's why she has short hair. Once Will saw that Jada was not happy, he decided to do this.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, that's right. He went up on stage and slapped the crap out of Chris Rock, who actually handled it way better than I think Will Smith deserved. He basically saved the Oscars by making jokes about the situation rather than hitting Will back. I mean, imagine the Oscars turns into an all-out brawl. Will Smith versus Chris Rock. Who would win? Now that would be good television. Will actually went back to his seat after getting up and slapping Chris, and then screamed at Chris Rock to keep his wife's name out of his mouth, which, knowing just a tiny bit about Will Smith's relationship, is a bit of a turnaround because usually he's asking men to keep something else out of her mouth. But seriously, let's dissect this just a little bit. What Will Smith did there was pretty much just blatantly attack a man on live television over a joke. First off, Will Smith is a comedian himself. Shouldn't he know a thing or two about taking a joke in stride? Second off, the fact that he wasn't arrested or at the very least kicked out of the Oscars, and that they even had the gall to give him an Oscar just a short while after this happened, is insane. Really shows that there's not a single person at the Oscars that has any kind of balls at all. Now, I've heard people defending Will for going up and protecting Jada's honor by hitting Chris, but there's a difference between somebody seriously insulting you and somebody who's just making a joke at your expense. Especially when you go to a function like the Oscars, where people making jokes about you is expected. Like, you go in knowing that can happen. I also hear people saying that Will Smith was in the right because Chris Rock's words were violence, so he was in the right to go and hit him, which is literally an unhinged take. If you think that words can ever, in any circumstance, be equivalent to a literal physical act of violence, you need to log off of Twitter and go touch some grass. Nothing anyone ever says to you will ever equate to a physical attack. That's just a fact. Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Will Smith escalated this from a joke to violence, and I think that says a lot about his mental state. Sane people do not go up on a massive stage and attack somebody for making a small joke at their wife's expense. Also, it's not like he made a bald joke about her and she has cancer or something. She has a condition that makes her bald. Like, yeah, maybe she's a bit insecure about that, but nobody would bat an eye if Chris Rock made a balding joke about a male actor. I just think the whole thing is crazy. Will Smith did end up apologizing, but honestly, it's just not enough. The dude escalated to violence in front of millions of people on live television. Like, sure, it was just a slap, but if you or I did that, we'd be sitting in a jail cell by the end of the night. I think that the police should just do something in this case, but they won't because Chris Rock is a better man and doesn't want to press charges. But it just goes to show just kind of a double standard for justice in America if he doesn't get charged for it or have any consequences for it. On the plus side, he'll probably get charged for dropping a couple F-bombs on live TV because the FCC usually does not mess around with that kind of thing. I remember a few years back after a horrific incident, an attack in Boston, one of the Red Sox players dropped the F-bomb while talking about the situation, saying, "This is our effing city." The FCC almost charged him like $100,000 for that, but then they dropped it because of public outcry, since the dude was just angry that his city had been attacked. If they're willing to attempt to fine a guy on the Red Sox in the middle of a giant charity event after an attack on an American city, you better bet that they're going to be willing to send a bill directly to Will Smith's front door. Hey guys, MattyO here. Just jumping in to remind you to smash that subscribe button and decimate that like button. Thank you. Now let's get back to the video. I don't think they'll take Will's Oscar away, even though Will Smith has just resigned from the Academy, which, from what I can tell, just means that he can't watch certain private movie screenings now. When I looked it up, I could only find one instance of them taking away an Oscar, and that was because they found out after the fact that the film was ineligible for the category that it had won. And I mean, Roman Polanski still has his Oscars, and if you don't know about him, he's way worse than Will Smith. So much worse that Roman Polanski Polanski can't return to the United States without being arrested. So yeah, I really don't see them taking away Will Smith's award. If they do end up doing it though, it will be because they're really feeling the heat right now from the public, and they know that the public is out for blood on this. I mean, did you see the ridiculous story they tried to put out saying that they asked Will Smith to leave and he just refused? Come on guys, I know you want to save face because people were mad and you didn't remove him, but that's the best story you could come up with? If the Oscars really wanted Will Smith to leave after his outburst, they could have just removed him with security, or failing that, the police. So I don't think that the people at the Oscars really care. It was probably the best thing that's ever happened to the Oscars because it made people actually pay attention to them for just a little while. I mean, I can't think of the last time I watched anything Oscar related before this happened. How about you? And that's why some people are saying that this was faked, but it wasn't. If it was faked, they wouldn't have accidentally aired Will Smith swearing at Chris Rock in some countries. They'd have the censor warmed up and ready if it was planned. Also, I think it's just way too good of a story for the Oscar people to think up. I mean, just try and watch the rest of the Oscars. It's basically impossibly boring. If these writers came up with the Will Smith slap, I think the rest of the show might have been just a tiny bit more entertaining. And I guess that's basically where we need to end it, because this situation just blows my mind. I mean, nothing bad has actually happened to Will Smith because of this. He resigned from the Academy, which is apparently just useless. Like, doesn't seem like it's really that important. So hopefully by the time this is posted, there's been some kind of update and something. He's had some kind of negative repercussions. I have seen Netflix talking about pausing one of his movie deals. So hopefully he gets some negative repercussions, because somebody who's this unhinged should not be, you know, a face of anything in a big movie. He should be ostracized, I honestly think. He's a comedian and he attacked another comedian on live TV. It's just crazy. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. The Will Smith slap was great television, something I don't think will ever happen again. What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments section down below. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a great day and God bless you.